Okay, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gelaene. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Today we're back with another higher self video because the last one I did has been doing really well. As I mentioned in that video, I absolutely love talking about this topic and I'm excited to bring you guys another video. So today's video is going to be all about how to become your higher self in 2025. Realistically, you're not going to have to spend like crazy amounts of money. You're not going to have to sign up to courses or coaches or really expensive workout classes. This is all about just doing the best that you can with what you have so that we're not overcompensating and ending up in debt, ending up digging ourselves into a hole that we can't climb out of. Your higher self is obviously an elevated, greater version of yourself. It's your future self, it's who you envision yourself to be. Obviously that person has, for most of us, I know for myself, has a lot of money, is able to do whatever they want, go wherever they want. They have freedom, time freedom, financial freedom, security, whatever it is. And however your current life looks right now, we don't want you to overextend yourself into debt or making decisions that you're not quite ready for. But we do want you to embody your higher self and start to become her in your mind first. And that just comes from normalizing. It comes from normalizing the life that you want, normalizing the things that you want in your life that may seem quite scary right now. So if you're in your mind, you're someone who's super fit and healthy, and right now you don't feel that, you want to start normalizing that feeling now, because that's just how you manifest. You manifest through embodiment and self-belief, believing that you can actually do it and believing that you are that person now, even though it doesn't look like it in your 3D reality. It's all about just like connecting with the 5D, connecting with future self, your vision for your future, and bringing those elements, bringing the emotion, the feelings into the now. It's easier said than done, and I totally understand that, but that's why it's about repetition, working through limiting beliefs, using affirmations, and surrounding yourself with those things and elements that you want for your future self. I can literally go on a whole tangent. I'm already yapping like way too much. I just wanted to give you guys a few ways that you can start becoming your higher self in 2025. I'm so happy to do more in-depth videos on certain elements or things that I'm speaking about, so let me know if you want that. So let's get into it. First, you want to get really clear on who your higher self actually is. What do you envision for yourself when you think of your future self? I've been having this conversation with like co-workers and just people in my life because I've realized that not everyone thinks about this. Not everyone is like, I guess, not self-aware. Well, yeah, not everyone's self-aware, but not everyone is thinking about elevating their life and becoming a better version of themselves. And that's totally fine. Like if you like who you are and you don't want to elevate yourself, that's totally fine. But a lot of people that I've spoken to, they do want to elevate themselves, but they've never really thought of that person. They are only so fixated on what's going on around them, are not living a life that they want to live. They're really feeling stuck in their life, and it's crazy to me that they haven't thought about a life beyond what they have now. I'm like literally mind blown. When I was asking this coworker, I was like, okay, so what do you want your life to look like? How do you see yourself in 10 years? She couldn't answer the question. And she just kept coming back to the now, kept coming back to like, well, I feel like I need to be here and, you know, do this and all that. And I'm not really sure what my future looks like. I'm not really sure what I want. And it really baffled me because this is literally all I think about. But also I understand that it's completely okay to not know who your future self is just yet, not know what you want for your life. I've been there, trust me, I have been there. It is a place that I was for a while, but it put me into a depression. Was in such a victim mindset of like stuck in my reality, not knowing where I wanted to go from here. Like what was the next step? Where could I possibly go? And I think it just comes down to opening up your mind to opportunities, like seeing the world as like a huge fat opportunity, and nothing's off limits. There's nothing off limits to you. You can literally do whatever you want to a certain extent at this current time in your life, but if you can envision it for yourself, you can absolutely achieve it. You have to get really clear on who your higher self is, what she looks like, how she dresses, how she speaks, how she treats other people, what she does for work. Does she work? Does she not work? Does she live on a farm and just like do farm work? Is she a stay-at-home mom? Like, is she, like, literally anything? Like, whatever you want for your life, dream big and think really, really carefully. And don't get caught on the fact that you can't change your mind, or you can't change what you want for yourself. You can absolutely change your vision for yourself at any point. Your values change as you grow and evolve, as you learn things, as you meet new people. You start to learn more about yourself, and you can change elements of yourself. Don't get too fixated and think like, if I pick this, am I allowed to change my mind in the future? Of course you can. But it is about just like taking that first step of like, think of like your dream life and who's living it. Can you see that person in your mind? I'm so passionate about doing what you love and what you're passionate about, no matter what that is. Obviously not murder, like I'm not into that. That is not cute. Don't be murdering people. But I mean like anything extravagant. The second thing is to have a creative or fun outlet that you can do that is not work. So it doesn't necessarily earn you money. It's not work. It's not something you have to plan for or be like in your masculine for, or be perfect at or whatever. Just like something that is a creative outlet that isn't work. So for me at the moment, I am doing salsa dancing, well, Latin dancing, so I'm doing salsa and bachata. And to me, that is just a fun outlet. It's something I do. It makes me feel creative. It puts me in my feminine energy, and I literally am doing it for fun. There's no work involved. I'm not even really like creating content around it. It's just something that I'm doing for myself, because my higher self does something creative, and that can be anything. It can be pottery, photography, where you're just doing it for fun, dancing, singing, really something creative and fun and feminine that like gets you out of your life, gets you out of the rat race that is life, into something that makes you feel free. I do highly recommend dancing if that's something that you're into. Hip-hop, I'm even doing a hip-hop class tonight. I just remembered, oh my god, I'm doing a hip-hop class tonight. But like, it's really getting yourself out of your comfort zone and just doing something different with your life. I think life is so repetitive. It's literally the same thing every day sometimes, especially if you're working, you know, a 9 to 5. You don't really get to control how your day looks a lot of the time. So where you can, I think it's important to let that be a little bit spontaneous. Let that be a little bit fun and exciting. The third thing is basically the same as my last video. So having sustainable and healthy habits that support your higher self. If you haven't watched that video, absolutely go and watch it. It's all about your higher self habits, and they're specifically my habits that I have been incorporating, because they are literally my higher self habits. My higher self does this on a daily basis. But having healthy habits is so critical for moving forward in anything. Like if you're within your health, if you're wanting to become healthier, creating habits around your health and wellness is obviously going to be the thing that moves you forward, and it should be a thing that you don't have to think about. It's just literally what you do. Like in the morning when I wake up, like literally what I do is go for a morning walk. There's no other option. Like I don't have another option. It's get up, get into my activewear, do my skincare, have my supplements, and go for my walk. Like that's an everyday thing. Like I don't have another option. There's nothing else. Because that's a habit, and I've been doing that for years, and it's always with a podcast. So like it's literally just always with a podcast. It's the thing I do to start my day, and it's the thing I've done for a long time now. So it's a habit, and it's a healthy one that supports my higher self and my goals. Like my goals are to stay fit and healthy, and to also learn things and become more self-aware and self-develop. So that's why that is a habit of mine. So having healthy habits that support your higher self. Along the same lines is having a morning and an evening routine. So critical. I can't even literally fathom waking up and not even knowing what I'm doing. Like I cannot fathom that. I know I'm a type A person, and I need to like have things in order. Like I need to know what's going to happen next. But you know, even on those days where I do like wake up a little bit later, I sleep in because maybe I didn't get a good night's sleep, and sleep is a really high value of mine. So maybe I slept in a little bit to give myself more sleep. Like, I still have a routine. Like, it doesn't matter if I woke up at 6 or if I woke up at 8 or 9. The routine is still there. I wake up, put my activewear on, do my skincare, get my supplements and go for a walk. And if it's something, if it's not a walk because something has come up, like I have an appointment or something, like there's still a routine, and I just like shift and pivot it a little bit. But I feel like a routine keeps you sane. Your mind doesn't have to wander into the abyss of like, what am I doing with my life, or what am I going to do today, I have nothing to do, or like it keeps you from that because you already know what you're going to do. And around that you can add different elements into that to make your day a little bit more spontaneous. Routine is what keeps us sane and keeps us moving forward, so that we're not losing time or running out of time and then being late for things or forgetting to do things. I know that some people are type B and like that's cool with them, like to just be sort of blasé about their day. Your higher self, like, she's efficient with her time because she knows how precious time is. It should be valuable to you what you do with your time. For me, that's my higher self. Like, she values time, she values her time. That goes hand in hand with career and, you know, earning money and stuff. But you have to be able to respect yourself and respect your time from here, from just like creating routines that allow you to utilize your time in the mornings and the evenings in a way that supports your goals and supports your values and supports your lifestyle. If you do live a slow life, so great. You can still have a routine within a slow life. Just take your time with it. When it comes to going to sleep in the evening, this really helps and supports your sleep and your sleep health, and which then, you know, in turn supports your morning and your days. Okay, the next thing is to read fiction books to stimulate your imagination. There's just something about fiction books that we must continue to incorporate into our lives. Like, I truly believe that this is important because, like I just said, it's to stimulate your imagination. And when I compare reading to watching a movie, let's be honest, when you're watching a movie, you are brain rotting. Like, you are literally you don't even have to pay attention really. Your subconscious is just doing it for you. You're not stimulating your mind. You're just there watching TV like, Don't get me wrong, I'm a Netflix TV show girl to the day I die. I'm obsessed. I will binge watch any show. I'm currently binge watching Night Agent season 2, thank you very much. But I'm very much aware that I'm rotting right there on the couch. My brain is rotting. It's just enjoying. It's entertained, and that's a good thing. You know, I like that. I personally love that, and it's something I'm probably never going to give up. But I do recognize that my brain's doing not much, right? And so I must incorporate something that is allowing my brain to stimulate imagination. And what this does is it allows you to stay childlike, to stay youthful, be able to imagine things. And it also supports your manifestations, because if you can imagine, like, reading a book and your imagination is going and you're envisioning the characters and what they're doing and what they look like. And you can do that for yourself. Like, you can envision yourself, what you're doing with your life, what you look like, how you speak, how you act, and how you talk to people, what kind of impact you have. Like, you can do the same. Okay, the next thing is podcast walks. So I kind of got into it previously, but when I do my morning walks, I call them like my mindset walks, because they're purely for my mindset, not even really for exercise. Obviously I'm getting my steps in, which is great, but like, I'm there for my mind. And I always couple it with a podcast, and the podcast is like a self-development podcast, because in the morning is when I'm most like receptive to learning something and being like in a really good headspace, and my energy levels are high. I think about how I'm feeling and how I want to feel, and then I'll listen to a podcast that will like help me feel the way that I want to feel. Actually only listen to 3 different podcasts, and they all give me different things. So the first one I'll recommend is called Guide Me Glow, is Shannon Tang. She's all about becoming your glowiest self, and yeah, I just really love her content. Her podcast is literally my lifesaver. It's turned me into the best version of myself, so highly recommend. And then I listen to For the Healthy Hose. That's when I'm feeling really like overstimulated, burnt out, and just like overworked. This podcast just like calms you, makes you feel like you're not running out of time with life. Like, it's just so good. Like here's the most recent is detachment is not loss, it's expansion. Bless. And then it's like slow down babe, that's how you grow. Please. I really love For the Healthy Hose. I love Ree and Sunset Tim, the hosts. I follow them on Instagram. Great podcast to listen to in the morning. And then I also listen to Rise and Conquer as well. I've listened to this since it first started like years ago. And I don't listen to this one as much anymore because I mostly listen to Guide Me Glow and For the Healthy Hose. But sometimes if I haven't got new ones from the other two, I'll come back to Rise and Conquer and just like get into the energy again. It's a really fun, lighthearted one. It's also about like manifestation and goals and all these things, so it's really good. I also have my own podcast, guys. I'm just gonna plug it here. I don't really post anymore. I want to get back into it because I've been listening to some of my own podcast episodes recently and I'm like, damn, that was actually really fire. Like, why did I stop? So I'll just plug myself here as well. It's called DELU Talk. It's all about like being your most delusional self, like your DELU self, and it's for content creators who like want to just like elevate their brand, become like have a unique voice, and it's also mindset and content creation. So I'll just like plug that one there. When I couple these two together, I just feel like the most powerful person on the planet in that time. So for that hour that I'm walking, I'm literally that bitch. So, and then the last thing is to try to get 8 to 10k steps a day. This is not just a trend, guys. It's not just a trend. If you're someone who doesn't get a lot of steps in a day, you should really have a look at your pedometer and check your step count. If you don't get a lot of steps in a day, it's to your own detriment. Really good for your health and overall well-being. It's good for your mindset. If you're feeling really ick about yourself, really sad, depressed, anything like that, go out and go for a walk, and it may not cure your problems or anything like that, but the more you do it, the more you'll start to come out of your shell, the more you'll start to see opportunities in life, because it will just open up your mind to a little bit more, just that little bit more. And I'm a big believer in walking. I'm a walking gal, and I want to just say this right now because I don't have the evidence right now. I haven't done any research on it, but I personally have been pushing myself to do 10k steps a day the last month, and I have seen dramatic changes in my body, literally my physique. I have been losing a little bit of weight, which I had gained all last year, and starting to feel a little bit more confident in my body, starting to feel more like what's the word? Energized. Just like more fit, a little bit more fit, because I don't do a lot of steps if I'm not doing it on purpose. Like if I'm not purposely going out for walks, I'm working behind a computer, I'm sitting at a desk all day, or I'm watching TV. Yeah, I must get my steps, and you know, getting 8 to 10k steps, people are calling it, like, people are making it a trend, but if you just try it for a month. Try it for a month and see the positive changes in your life. That's everything. That's how you're going to become your higher self in 2025, just by implementing these little things slowly, one at a time. You know, if you haven't done any of these things, just start with one. Start with your higher self, with your vision of your higher self. Like, who is she? Like, really get clear on who your higher self is, because how can you work towards something or someone if you don't even know what that is or what that looks like? Even if you can't do any of the other ones, just do that one, because once it's in your mind, you will even start subconsciously making decisions that will take you closer to that person, become that person. That's just how manifestation works. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Bye.